Support for this podcast comes from the law firm of Davis Malm. Whether you're a developer, property owner, manager, or commercial tenant, their real estate attorneys know the lay of the land, not just the law. Learn more at davismalm.com.
WBUR Podcasts, Boston.
I'm Daryl C. Murphy, and you're listening to The Common. You're listening to The Common from the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston. We are about to enter to watch a movie, which is a part of the programming for the 25th Roxbury International Film Festival. So, let's go.
Welcome. So glad you're here.
We head into a theater near a cafe space in the museum. There's a decent turnout inside, but it's a pretty big space, so there are plenty of places to sit. We're here to see just two of the more than 80 films screening during the 10-day Roxbury International Film Festival. First, a short film called A Call to Action, The Freedom Budget of 1966. It's about a grassroots effort that proposed spending federal dollars to secure jobs and basic welfare for U.S. citizens. Then, we'll see The Five Demands. It's a documentary about a Black and Puerto Rican student-led protest demanding racial equity at City College of New York. We take our seats, and then soon after, the artistic and executive director of the festival, Lisa Simmons, takes the stage.
We are in our 25th year this year, which is really very exciting. We have over 84 films in the festival this year, the largest number of local filmmakers that we've had since we started, when we started 25 years ago with 10. So that says a lot about people making movies and people telling stories that often do not get told in mainstream media, and that's what this festival is about. So thank you very much.
Welcome to the Museum of Fine Arts, Boston.
The two films are a history lesson that I never received in school or college. This, to me, exemplifies the importance of events like the Roxbury International Film Festival that focus on perspectives outside of what's considered mainstream. I definitely have to talk to Lisa about this. Fortunately, we spot her as we exit and pull her aside for a chat. So, Lisa, we just watched two films. The first was focused on this budget, and that was interesting. And then I watched the second piece, the documentary about this demonstration. I didn't know about that either. And is that the spirit of the Roxbury International Film Festival? Are those the type of films you look for?
Yes, so one of the things that we really curate for are those untold stories. Stories that we know that people are gonna walk away either feeling educated or activated. My sister, Allison Simmons, is the co-curator with me and the co-director. And we always giggle because we're like, we really are a social justice film festival. Don't tell anyone because then they won't come, right? But those are the stories that speak to us. So I think that when you think about Rox film, that's what you think about. You think about I'm gonna learn something. I'm gonna meet people that I've never known existed before. It's part of our tagline, right? Fiercely independent.
So, and you call it Rox Film for short. Yeah. I love that. I want to take a step back because I'm new to Boston, and this is my first time to the Roxbury International Film Festival. Could you just take us through the moment where you realized this event needed to exist?
Well, 26 years ago, I had started a company called the Color Film Collaborative with a good friend of mine, Mike Trent. And I started it because I was an actress here in Boston for about 10 years. And I would always go to auditions, and it didn't matter what I looked like. It was more like, are you light-skinned, are you dark-skinned, you have curly hair? And my friends and I would end up at the same auditions, and I'm like, oh, you're going to get it today because they want someone who looks like this. And you wore your hair curly, you didn't tell them, those sort of things. And so, 25 years ago, there weren't a lot of people, Black people here in Boston making films, and there was a small number. So everyone was working separately on a set where they were the only one. So I was like, let's create an organization where people can network together. The Color of Film, we'll call it. My idea was everyone would come together, and then the directors and the producers and the writers would all get together of color in the same room and produce their own content. And that did happen. And it was just, but it was more that it was the sense of like validation, because you never had that when you were the only one on a set. So we started that, and then there was an organization, Act Roxbury. Their board decided to do a film festival, and so they approached us and said, "You're already in this film space. Do you all want to partner? We've got about $5,000 to do a film festival. What do you think?" And so that's really how it came about. And because we had a lot of local filmmakers that weren't getting into other festivals, so it was like it was really sort of to create something where these local filmmakers could have the opportunity to share their vision and their voice with the world and a wider audience instead of showing it in their living rooms. And so that's how it started, and it's just continued to grow like that.
We'll be right back.
Politics has never been stranger or more online, which is why the politics team at Wired is making a new show, Wired Politics Lab. It's all about how to navigate the endless stream of news and information and what to look out for. Each week on the show, we'll dig into far-right platforms, AI chatbots, influencer campaigns, and so much more. Wired Politics Lab launches Thursday, April 11th. Follow the show wherever you get your podcasts.
Okay, we're back. Talk to me about how this event has changed since then. I mean, you mentioned that this started with $5,000.
In 10 films.
In 10 films. And now you're at the MFA selling out, and you have, 84 this year? Yeah, talk to me about how you got there.
I mean, I think it's because it's the audience and it's also the filmmakers. We really pride ourselves on being a filmmaker festival. We love filmmakers. We love their stories. So, yeah, I mean, it's changed because the way that you make movies has changed, right? It was really expensive to do this before. It was crazy expensive 25 years ago to make a film and shoot on 35, even to shoot on 16. And as, technology started to change, more and more people were able to pick up a smaller camera, a mini DVD, and then we were on, and so all of these things contributed to the opportunity, I think, of more stories coming out of communities that ever did.
So through the years, innovations have allowed you to just grow with the times. As there's more content for you, you're a platform for it, So it's like you came at just the right time, it sounds like,
Oh, we struggled. I mean, 25 years ago, it wasn't easy. You have to be consistently visible and telling people like why it's important. Why a Black film festival? Why a film festival cover? Why is that important? Well, it's important because you need to give people the opportunity and the space to be able to exhibit their stories and have conversations with audience members. It's important to audience members. I mean, that's one of the things when we started, we knew that it was going to be important for filmmakers, but we had no idea how important it was for audience members to see themselves in different ways on screen. And so constantly, it's like that constant, curation of that to make sure that we're putting together a film festival that everyone can see themselves in some way, shape, or form in some film.
Yeah. Tell me more about that from the creators' perspective, from the directors, the actors, from the people, from the filmmakers themselves. What kind of difficulties are you seeing now compared to when you were in that position?
The challenge is always about funding, right? The challenge is always finding those good roles, I think, for actors. I think that has completely blown up now. I mean, there are so many opportunities. Behind the cameras is actually opening up. So now you're opening the door, you're letting people in, and people are killing it. So now, 25 years later, you can see that.
This is the Roxbury
Yes.
International Film Festival. So tell me about the aspects of this event that are specific to Boston?
Boston is a very tribal city. I'm 4 generations, so my great-grandparents, my grandparents, my parents, us, we're here, and you'll find that in Boston. You will find that. Although there's a new influx of folks because we have all of the biotech and all these other companies that are bringing people in. Boston was never a transient city. Like, you came home and you stayed with your folks, right? And your family. And so it was always hard for people to come in. So, that's changing. But what isn't is that a lot of those people who were Boston, Roxbury, Mattapan people are coming home. And so it's, you're just sort of like building on that tribe of the people who were originally here, and you just all, sort of come together. That helps, of course. Being a native Bostonian, it helps. And because, my parents' friends come, and then their kid, like, we all work together. And so when we had our 25th Silver celebration on Tuesday, it just felt like a homecoming.
What do you look for in a film that's from a Boston filmmaker?
Whatever they want to present. Oftentimes they're presenting what, growing up in Roxbury, or they're doing, Mattapan, the documentary, or something like that. So, I'm not looking for anything different from them that I would look for. I'm looking for a good story.
There's still a few more days left. What can people expect to see if they decide to pop into the festival?
So we have Casey Lemons, who did Eve's Bayou. She's going to be here for our closing night. Casey Lemons did I Want to Dance with Somebody. She did Harriet. She did Talk to Me. So that's on the 28th, and that's really great. We have a film called Kenyatta, that is the film about Malcolm Kenyatta, who ran against Fetterman. So he's actually coming in with his husband, Matt. And so it's a great film about the electability and the work and the pain of going through that. So that'll be great. That's going to be on Tuesday night. Those are the 2 big ones, I think, that we really want to get.
That's Artistic and Executive Director of the Roxbury International Film Festival, Lisa Simmons. The festival runs in person at multiple locations in Boston through Wednesday, June 28th. But an online portion, which includes web screenings, starts today, the 27th, and runs through July 2nd. You can find the full list of film screenings, locations, tickets, and more about the festival online at filmfest.com. That's roxfilmfest.com. And that's our show for today. Thank you so much for listening to The Common. Did you go to the Roxbury International Film Festival? Let us know. What did you think? Also, tell us if there's another film festival we should check out. We would love to know. Hit us up on Instagram at WBURTheCommon, or send us an email at thecommon@wbur.org. I'm Daryl C. Murphy, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.